I hear him. Oh, he's over here.
Why is he here?
Alright, get him out of here. I'm putting him over here. Alright, gonna get my fryer started here to make my chicken tenders. I'm going to turn my fryer on all the way to 400. Alright, got my bowls here. I'm gonna put one bowl with 3 eggs and mix them up. And then the other bowl is going to be with my all-purpose flour to bread my tenders. Alright, got some milk here. I'm going to go ahead and mix this in with my eggs. I have half a cup of milk here that I'm going to pour in with my 3 eggs. Got my 3 eggs already in here. I'm going to go ahead and pour half a cup of milk and just stir that all together. Get that all whisked up. But I'm not using a whisk, I'm using a fork. Alright, got my all-purpose flour here. I'm going to get this opened up and pour some in my large bowl here. I got my flour in here. Now I'm going to get my seasonal here. And I'm just going to add some of this to my flour. Just to season up my tenders. So I'm really not sure how much I'm using, guys, so I'm just gonna put it in there. So I guess I don't know how to see how much I'm putting in there. I'm just gonna do it. All right, like that much. And then I'm going to get my fork. Where'd I put it? Found it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just stir it all in like so. And now I'm going to start breading my chicken. Okay, got my Hill Country Fare chicken breast tenders here. I'm going to go ahead and get this opened and start to bread. Alright, got my little setup here. Got my chicken tenders. I got my flour, got my egg wash, and my plate to put all my tenders on. How I do it is I just grab a tender and I put it in flour, and then I put it in the egg wash, and then I put it in the flour again, and then I plate it like so. I'm just going to continue this process until I'm fully done breading all of my tenders. Alright, got all my tenders plated here. It's so much easier when you plate all of your chicken tenders and don't do it as you're cooking them. I just plate them all, just bread them all, plate them, so that way I don't have to mess them anymore. I can just continue on and just put more when I need more, and I don't have to keep stopping to bread. I used to do that, and oh my god, it used to take a while. Like, just to multitask and do this, do that. Make sure I'm breading them, getting them back in there. This is so much easier when you just bread them all at once, plate them all at once, and then I was able to put all my stuff away, my eggs, my milk, my flour. I was able to put everything away so it's not sitting on the counter anymore. So much easier. Now we're going to begin to fry. Alright, my fryer is ready to go. It is nice and hot. I got my little fryer basket here. I'm just going to grab a few tenders, about 3 of them, and just lay them into the fryer basket. And I'm going to fry them for about 7 minutes in the fryer. So, oh yeah, nice and hot. And I do like to mess with the tenders every once in a while. Just wiggle them around, pick them up, you know, wiggle them around, pick them up a few times, just so they don't stick to each other or to the basket. So I'll just do that within the 7 minutes. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes and my tenders look ready to go. So it didn't even take the full 7 minutes. So I'm just going to get that frying basket out, just wiggle it around a little bit, so that excess grease can come out. And I'm going to just plop these bad boys in a container. Sorry, my camera was way over there. And they look beautiful and crispy. I'm just going to go ahead and continue this process until all of my tenders are done. Alright, my beautiful tenders are all done. As you can see, gorgeous and crispy. Yum. We're almost ready to plate, guys. The macaroni and cheese that I'm using is going to be the Hill Country Fare Deluxe Mac and Cheese. Made with real cheese. I'm going to go ahead and get my water started, get that to boil, and then add my macaroni and cheese in there. Okay, got my pot here. I'm going to go ahead and set my range to 5, which is medium on my stove. And I have about 4 cups of water in here. I'm just going to let it get to a boil, and then I'll add my macaroni and cheese. Alright, so I got a boil going in my pot here for my macaroni and cheese. I'm going to go ahead and just take some vegetable oil and put it in there like so. Get some salt and put just a little bit of salt in there. Just a little bit, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour my macaroni and cheese in there. Alright, got my macaroni and cheese here. I went ahead and I took out the pouch that was in there. And going to just pour my macaroni and cheese in there. Give it a stir so some of that oil, the vegetable oil, can just coat that macaroni so I don't have like stuck to each other macaroni. And I'm gonna turn my heat to 3 and put a lid on this. Alright, so my macaroni and cheese has been cooking for about 10 minutes. So I did give it a stir because I saw it was starting to stick together a little bit. So I just stirred it, and then I'm just going to put the lid back on it and we'll let it finish cooking. Alright, macaroni looks done. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stove here, remove it from that heat. I'm going to give it a stir and see where we stand as far as liquid in there. I would say that's good liquid to keep. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cheese sauce that the macaroni and cheese came with and pour that in there. Yum. Got some cheese in there. Y'all can definitely add milk. Sometimes I do, just depending on how much liquid I have left in here. If I feel like I don't have enough liquid and it can use just a little bit more liquid, I will add milk. So we shall see here in a moment. I think that I have enough liquid in here. Enough just to not add any milk, but you never know until you're fully done mixing the cheese in. Oh, my pot is getting away here. Sorry, the kids are a little bit loud today. That looks like some good macaroni and cheese, y'all. I'm just gonna let this sit for a little while. You can definitely add some pepper. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And today I think I'm going to, because my kids will complain if I don't have any pepper in there. Alright, again, not too much pepper, just a little bit. We like some pepper around here, not a whole lot, but we do like a little bit. So just gonna put it like that and give it a good stir. And my macaroni and cheese is done. I am gonna let it sit for a little while just so it can thicken up. But that is it. Alright, so I have just a container here that I'm going to put my green beans in. I'm going to go ahead and be using the Hill Country Fare green beans. As you can see, I'm just going to open up these cans and pour out the juice and then pour my green beans in here. Alright, got my green beans in my bowl here, and I'm going to go ahead and add some delicious bacon grease. It's not much, but it's just a little bit of bacon grease that I had left over from breakfast this morning. I'm just going to go ahead and pour the bacon grease in here. Alright, got my bacon grease in here. I'm just going to give this a good stir, and then I'm going to put it in my microwave for about 3 minutes and let these green beans just cook. Sorry, I can't really stir with one hand, but I will try. And I love green beans with bacon grease. Oh my God, like it adds such a good flavor. It may not be the healthiest to eat, but it sure is good. Alright, so got my hot and steamy green beans here. I'm going to go ahead and just put a cover on them. If you want, you can add seasonings or whatever you want to add. Me, I'm not going to add anything. I'm just going to set them aside. And if we need some salt when we're eating, we can definitely add the salt while we're eating. But I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm just going to leave it as is. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my mashed potatoes, my instant mashed potatoes here, which is the Idahoan brand. Buttery home style family size. In this pot I have 4 cups of water, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my range to 5, which is medium, and I'm going to go ahead and just let that boil up, and then I'll be adding my instant mashed potatoes. Alright, my water is ready for me to put my instant mashed potatoes in there. I'm just going to get this opened. Okay, I'm just going to pour in my instant mashed potatoes here. And as I'm pouring them, I'm going to just mix it in here. Little by little. And I am putting the whole bag. I'm just stirring it in little by little. And you'll start to get it thickened up. Oh, I forgot to turn off the stove here. Let me go ahead and turn off that range. And let me pull it from the heat. And finish stirring it in. Because if you don't turn off the stove and you keep it on the heat, then this, as you're stirring it and it starts to thicken up, it'll start to bubble, and it could even like pop you. So I recommend that you turn off the stove. You turn off the stove and you remove it from the heat, and you just stir it in slowly, just so you don't get popped. Almost done here. And it's getting so thick, just like real mashed potatoes, guys. And it tastes really great. I mean, I used to be against like instant anything, but these are really good instant mashed potatoes, I'm not even gonna lie, especially with some white gravy, which I'm making next. And that is it. Okay, I am going to add just a little bit of pepper and then stir that. Just a little bit, not like a whole lot. Okay, last but not least, I got my country gravy here, H-E-B brand. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I got my little pot here. I got 2 cups of water, and I have my range set to 5, which is medium. I'm going to go ahead and get this poured in there. Going to whisk that gravy powder. Once I see that there's no chunks rising to the top, I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone and let it cook. The cream gravy, it does cook really quickly, so I have to really keep an eye on it. Alright, when you see these bubbles start to happen here, just give it a stir. You really have to watch gravy, I feel, because it can go from you not thinking it's almost done to super thick or rising to the top, or yeah, it's just one of those things that I really have to watch. So when I start to see bubbles, I just give it a stir and then check on it again in a few minutes, maybe like a minute or so, but always to keep my eye on it. All right, my gravy is done. Perfect consistency. It's just lovely. All right, we are all done. Here it is, beautiful. My tenders, my green beans, my macaroni and cheese, my mashed potatoes with country gravy. This looks yummy. Now I'm ready to eat. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope y'all enjoy this just as much as me and my family do. Yum! This is my plate.